The wedding invitation was beautiful. Cream cardstock with rose gold foil lettering, elegant calligraphy announcing the marriage of Sophia Chen and Marcus Rivera. We'd spent weeks choosing the perfect design, the perfect words, the perfect everything for our Miami Beach wedding. I hand-delivered my family's invitations personally, my parents, my 2 brothers, my sister, my grandparents. Sat in my parents' living room in Coral Gables while my mother examined the invitation like it was evidence in a crime. Marcus Rivera, she said, his name heavy with disapproval. You're really going through with this? Yes, Mom. I'm marrying the man I love. The wedding is in 3 months. I hope you'll all be there. My father looked up from his newspaper. Sophia, we've discussed this. Marcus is not right for you. Because he's a high school teacher? I asked, knowing the answer. Because he'll never be able to provide for you the way you deserve. You have a master's degree from Georgetown. You're a financial analyst. You should be marrying someone on your level, a doctor, a lawyer, someone with ambition. Marcus has plenty of ambition. He's passionate about education. He makes $52,000 a year, my mother interrupted. That's not ambition, that's settling. You could have any man you wanted. Instead, you're choosing someone who will hold you back. My brother David, 29 and a corporate attorney, spoke up. She's not wrong, sophomore. I like Marcus, but let's be real, he's never going to make enough money to match your lifestyle. You'll end up supporting him. I don't care about his salary. I care about who he is. That's naive, my sister Grace said. She was 26, engaged to a hedge fund manager our parents adored. Love doesn't pay the bills. Mom and Dad are trying to protect you from making a mistake. I looked around the room at my family, all of them nodding, all of them unified in their certainty that I was making the wrong choice. So you won't come to the wedding, I said quietly. We didn't say that, my mother started. But you're thinking it. My father folded his newspaper decisively. Sophia, if you marry this man against our advice, you're choosing him over your family. We cannot support a decision that we believe will ruin your life. Ruin my life? Marcus is the best thing that ever happened to me. You're 28 years old, my mother said. You think you know everything, but you're too young to understand what you're giving up. When you're 40 and struggling financially because your husband can't provide, don't come crying to us. I won't need to come to you. I can take care of myself. With an attitude like that, my father said coldly, maybe you should. I stood up, gathering the invitations they'd left untouched on the coffee table. So that's it? You're not coming to my wedding? We're not going to stand there and watch you make the biggest mistake of your life, my mother said. If you come to your senses and call this off, we'll welcome you back with open arms. But if you go through with this wedding, don't expect us to celebrate your poor judgment. I looked at my brothers, my sister. And you? Are you all boycotting too? David looked uncomfortable. Soph, I think you should really consider what Mom and Dad are saying. So that's a yes. Grace at least had the decency to look guilty. I just think maybe you should wait. Give it more time. Make sure. I've been with Marcus for 4 years. I'm sure. My youngest brother Ryan, 24 and still living at home, shrugged. I mean, if everyone's not going, I'm not going to be the only one there. That would be weird. I laughed, hollow and bitter. Right. That would be weird. God forbid you support your sister when it's socially awkward. I walked out of that house with my invitations and drove to Marcus's apartment, crying so hard I had to pull over twice. When I told him what happened, Marcus held me while I sobbed. We can postpone, he said quietly. Give them time to come around. No. We're getting married. With or without them. Sophia, they're your family. And you're about to be my husband. You're my family too. If they can't accept that, that's their choice. Over the next 3 months, I sent updates about the wedding to my family. None of them responded. I called my mother twice, both times she told me she was busy and hung up. 2 weeks before the wedding, I tried one last time. Called my father's cell phone. Dad, please. I know you don't approve, but this is my wedding. Your only daughter's wedding. Can't you just be there? You don't have to be happy about it, just be there. Sophia, we've made our position clear. We're not going to enable your mistake. It's not a mistake. When you realize it is, and you will, we'll be here. But we will not watch you throw your life away. That's final. He hung up. The wedding was beautiful despite everything. Intimate, just 60 guests, mostly Marcus's family and our friends. His mother walked me down the aisle since my father refused. His sister was my maid of honor since Grace had declined. I cried during the ceremony, but not for the reasons guests probably thought. Yes, I was happy to marry Marcus. But I was also devastated that my family's chairs sat empty in the front row. That there were no photos of me and my parents. That my father didn't give a speech. That my mother didn't help me with my dress. They'd chosen their pride over my happiness. And that hurt more than I'd ever imagined. After the wedding, I sent my mother one photo, me and Marcus on the beach at sunset, both of us laughing, clearly in love. She didn't respond. We honeymooned in Greece for 2 weeks. When we came back, Marcus and I moved into a small apartment in downtown Miami and started our married life. I threw myself into my work at the investment firm where I'd been employed for 3 years. I was good at what I did, really good. I'd been managing portfolios for high net worth clients, consistently beating market returns, building a reputation for smart, aggressive investment strategies. 6 months after my wedding, I was headhunted by a boutique investment firm that specialized in tech startups. They wanted someone who understood both traditional finance and emerging technologies. The salary they offered was triple what I'd been making. I took the job. Within a year, I'd made my first $1 million in commissions from successful investment recommendations. Within 2 years, I'd been promoted to partner. By year 3, I was managing a $500 million portfolio and earning more money than I'd ever imagined. Marcus and I bought a house in Coconut Grove, a beautiful modern home with an ocean view. We traveled. We lived well. We were happy. And through all of it, my family stayed silent. I'd see updates on social media, my sister's wedding to her hedge fund manager, my brother's promotion, my parents' anniversary party. I wasn't invited to any of it. I told myself I didn't care. I had Marcus. I had success. I had everything I needed. But it still hurt. For years after my wedding, I made a decision that would change everything. I'd been wanting a Lamborghini Huracan since I'd first test-driven one at a charity event. Sleek, powerful, beautiful, and expensive at $150,000. Marcus laughed when I brought it up. You're seriously considering buying a Lamborghini? I can afford it. I've earned it. Why not? Because it's completely impractical? Because we live in Miami where traffic is terrible? Because it's the most ostentatious purchase imaginable? All true, I agreed. And I still want it. Then get it, he said, kissing my forehead. You've worked your ass off for 4 years. If you want a ridiculously expensive car, buy the ridiculously expensive car. So I did. The Lamborghini was delivered on a Saturday morning in late October. Matte black with red leather interior, every upgrade option available. It was absurd and excessive and I loved it immediately. Marcus took photos of me with the car in our driveway, both of us laughing at the ridiculousness of it all. I looked happy in those photos, genuinely, completely happy. Successful. Confident. Living my best life. On impulse, I posted one photo to Instagram. Just a casual shot, me leaning against the Lamborghini in jeans and a white t-shirt, sunglasses on, smiling. The caption was simple, treating myself. Hard work pays off. Blackheart. I didn't think much of it. My Instagram was mostly private, just friends and a few distant relatives who'd stayed neutral during the family drama. But I'd forgotten that my mother followed my Instagram from a fake account I didn't know about. She'd been watching my life from a distance for 4 years, seeing my success, my happiness, my life with Marcus. And that photo of the Lamborghini? That was apparently her breaking point. My phone buzzed 3 hours after I posted the photo. "Mom, Sophia, we need to talk. Can you call me?" I stared at that text for 10 minutes. 4 years of silence. 4 years of being cut off from my family. And now she wanted to talk. I didn't respond. An hour later, another text. "Mom, I saw your Instagram post. That's quite an expensive car. Clearly you're doing well. I'm happy for you. Can we please talk?" I showed Marcus. "What do I do?" "That depends. What do you want?" "I want them to acknowledge what they did. I want them to admit they were wrong about you, about us, about everything. I want an apology for missing my wedding and cutting me off for 4 years. Do you think you'll get that?" "No. I think they saw that I'm successful and suddenly I'm worth talking to again." "Then don't respond." "Not yet. Make them sit with it." So I didn't respond. But the texts kept coming. "Mom, your father and I would love to see you. Can we take you to dinner?" "Mom, Sophia, please. We've missed you." "Mom, I understand you're angry, but we're still your parents. We deserve a chance to talk." That last one made me laugh bitterly. They deserved a chance to talk. What about the chance to walk their daughter down the aisle? To celebrate her wedding? To be part of her life? 3 days after the Instagram post, my sister Grace called. I let it go to voicemail. "Soph, it's Grace. Mom told me you posted a photo with a Lamborghini. Wow. That's amazing. Listen, I know things have been weird between us, but maybe we could get coffee? I'd love to catch up. Call me back." Weird. 4 years of total silence was weird. Then David called. Left a similar message. And Ryan. All of them suddenly interested in catching up now that they'd seen evidence of my success. A week after the Instagram post, my mother showed up at my office. My assistant buzzed me. "Ms. Chen, there's a woman here claiming to be your mother." My heart raced. "Tell her I'm in a meeting. She says she'll wait." Of course she would. I made her wait for 2 hours. Finished my actual meeting, reviewed some portfolios, answered emails. Let her sit in that lobby stewing in her own choice to ambush me at work. Finally, I told my assistant to send her in. My mother looked older. 4 years had carved lines around her eyes and mouth. She was dressed impeccably as always, but something in her posture seemed smaller, less certain. "Sophia," she said, her voice breaking. "You look wonderful." "What do you want, Mom?" "I wanted to see you. To talk. You haven't responded to any of my messages. You ignored me for 4 years. I figured I'd return the favor." She flinched. "I deserve that. You deserve a lot more than that. But go ahead. You came here to talk. Talk." She sat down across from my desk, looking around my corner office with its floor-to-ceiling windows and expensive art. "You've done very well for yourself." "Yes. Despite marrying a man who would hold me back." "Sophia. That's what you said, isn't it? That Marcus would hold me back? That I was making the biggest mistake of my life? I was wrong." The admission hung in the air. I'd wanted to hear those words for 4 years. Now that I had them, they felt empty. "You were wrong," I repeated. "You were wrong about Marcus. You were wrong about our marriage. You were wrong to boycott my wedding. You were wrong to cut me off for 4 years. Which part exactly are you admitting to?" "All of it." Tears started rolling down her cheeks. "All of it, Sophia. I was wrong about everything." "And what changed?" What made you suddenly realize you were wrong after 4 years? She looked down at her hands. I saw your Instagram post. She looked down at her hands. I saw your Instagram post. The Lamborghini. Yes. I laughed bitterly. So you didn't realize you were wrong when I got married. You didn't realize it when I got promoted. You didn't realize it during any of the 4 years I built this career. You realized it when you saw expensive evidence that I was successful. That's exactly what happened. You thought I'd fail without your support. You thought Marcus would drag me down. You thought I'd come crawling back, admitting you were right. But I succeeded. I thrived. And you can't stand that you missed it. I regret missing your wedding, she said quietly. Every day. I think about it every single day. Good. You should. We sat in silence for a long moment. What do you want from me, Mom? An invitation back into my life? A relationship like nothing happened? What? I want my daughter back, she whispered. I want to know you again. I want to meet your husband properly. I want to be part of your life. You had that chance 4 years ago. You chose not to take it. I know. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I looked at this woman who'd given birth to me, raised me, then discarded me when I didn't make the choice she wanted. And I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no forgiveness. Just emptiness. I need to think about this, I said finally. You can't just walk back into my life after 4 years because you saw a car on Instagram. I understand. No, I don't think you do. But you're going to have to try. My mother's visit haunted me for days. I replayed the conversation over and over, her words echoing in my mind. I want my daughter back. As if I'd been the one who left. Marcus found me on our deck that evening, staring out at the ocean, wine glass in hand. She showed up at your office, he asked, sitting beside me. Yeah. 2 hours ago. What did she say? That she was wrong. That she wants me back in her life. That she regrets missing the wedding. Do you believe her? I thought about that. I believe she regrets it. I don't know if she understands why it was wrong, or if she just regrets being wrong. What's the difference? One means she's actually changed. The other means she's just embarrassed that her prediction didn't come true. Which one is it? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. Over the next week, the messages kept coming. Not just from my mother, but from my entire family. My father sent a stiff email requesting a meeting. Grace called 3 times. David sent a long text about how he'd always believed in me. Ryan messaged asking if he could see the Lamborghini in person. Everyone wanted back in now that they'd seen proof of my success. I ignored them all for 2 weeks. Let them sit with their sudden urgency to reconnect, their belated regret, their desperate attempts to undo 4 years of silence. Then I decided what I wanted to do. I called my mother. Sophia. Oh my God, thank you for calling back. I'll meet with you, I interrupted. All of you. One time. You get one chance to say whatever you need to say. After that, I'll decide if I want any of you in my life. Of course, yes, whatever you need. My house. Next Sunday. 2 p.m. Just you, Dad, Grace, David, and Ryan. No one else. We'll be there. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you so much. I hung up and immediately called Marcus. I'm meeting with them Sunday. At our house. I want them to see what I built. What we built. I want them to understand exactly what they missed. Sunday arrived with perfect Miami weather, sunny, warm, a light breeze off the ocean. I wore a white silk blouse and tailored black pants, my hair pulled back, looking every inch the successful investment partner I'd become. Marcus and I watched from the window as my family arrived in my father's Mercedes. They stood in our driveway for a full minute, staring at our house, at my Lamborghini parked prominently in front, at the manicured lawn and modern architecture. I let them ring the doorbell twice before answering. My mother's eyes immediately filled with tears. "Sophia. Come in." They filed into our home like strangers at an open house, looking around with barely concealed shock. The contemporary furniture, the original art on the walls, the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the ocean, the chef's kitchen with marble countertops. This was not the struggling lifestyle they'd predicted. "Your home is beautiful," my father said stiffly. My mother was openly sobbing now. "I missed my only daughter's wedding. I missed seeing you in your dress. I missed walking you down the aisle. I missed meeting Marcus's family. I missed everything because I was so convinced I knew better than you did. And I was wrong. I was so wrong, Sophia, and I will regret it for the rest of my life." We sat in heavy silence. Marcus reached over and took my hand. "I don't know if I can forgive you," I said finally. "Not right now. Maybe not ever. What you did, it broke something. And I don't know if it can be fixed." "What can we do?" my mother asked desperately. "Nothing. There's nothing you can do to undo it. But if you want any chance of being in my life going forward, you need to understand that you're starting from zero. You don't get to be my parents like nothing happened. You have to earn that." "How?" my father asked. "By proving that you've actually changed. Not just that you regret being wrong, but that you understand why it was wrong. By building a real relationship with Marcus instead of just tolerating him because you have to. By showing up consistently without expecting immediate forgiveness." "We can do that," my mother said quickly. "Maybe. But I'm not making any promises. You chose to miss 4 years of my life. I might choose to keep it that way." The look of devastation on her face was both satisfying and painful. They left shortly after, subdued and chastened. As Marcus and I watched them drive away, he put his arm around me. "How do you feel?" he asked. "I don't know. Empty, I guess. I got to say everything I needed to say. But it doesn't make the last 4 years hurt any less. Do you think you'll let them back in?" "I don't know. Part of me wants to. Part of me thinks they don't deserve it. Part of me is just tired of carrying all this anger. You don't have to decide today." "I know." Over the next 6 months, my family tried. My mother texted weekly, sharing small updates about her life and asking about mine. Nothing demanding, nothing pressuring, just present. My father sent articles he thought I'd find interesting about investment strategies and market trends, with notes like, "Thought of you." Grace invited me to lunch. Just the two of us, no parents, no pressure. We sat across from each other in a cafe and had the most honest conversation we'd ever had about jealousy, family dynamics, and the weight of expectations. David asked if Marcus and I wanted to join him and his girlfriend for a double date. We went. It was awkward but genuine. Ryan showed up at my office with coffee and asked if he could see the Lamborghini. We ended up talking for 2 hours about careers, choices, and courage. Slowly, incrementally, they were trying to earn their way back. But it was my mother's gesture 7 months after our confrontation that finally cracked my armor. She sent me a package. Inside was a photo album. The cover said, "The Wedding We Missed." Inside were photos, not from my wedding, but recreations. My mother had gotten my wedding photos from Marcus's mother, who she'd apparently reached out to and apologized to profusely. Then she'd printed them, matted them professionally, and created the wedding album my parents should have made. But what broke me was the letter inside. "Sophia, I can't give you back the day I missed. I can't stand beside you in these photos or walk you down the aisle or dance with you at your reception. But I can honor the day I should have celebrated. I can acknowledge that your wedding was beautiful, that you were beautiful, that your choice was right even though I couldn't see it. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking to be welcomed back. I'm just saying, I see you now. I see what you built, who you married, the life you created. And I'm proud. 4 years too late, but I'm proud. I love you. I have always loved you. I just wish I'd loved you better. Mom. I called her crying. Mom. Sophia? Are you okay? I got the album. Oh. I wasn't sure if you'd want it. If it was too much. It's perfect. It's everything I needed. She started crying too. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I know. I finally believe that you know. Does this mean, can I? It means I'm ready to try. Really try. To let you back in. Not all the way, not immediately, but to try. That's all I'm asking. 1 year after that Instagram post, 1 year after the Lamborghini revealed to my family what they'd missed, we had a family dinner at my house. All of them, my parents, my brothers, my sister, and Marcus's family too, integrated like they should have been 5 years ago. We grilled by the pool. Watched the sunset over the ocean. Laughed at stories about our childhoods and our courtship and the early days of building my career. My mother watched Marcus and me interact, the easy affection, the inside jokes, the partnership we built over 9 years together, and I saw understanding finally dawn in her eyes. You're so happy, she said quietly when we had a moment alone in the kitchen. I am. I almost cost you this. I almost cost myself knowing this version of you. But you didn't. You came back. It took a Lamborghini to wake you up, but you came back. She laughed through tears. That stupid car. I was so shocked when I saw it. I thought, my daughter owns a Lamborghini and I don't even know her anymore. You're getting to know me again. I want to know everything. Everything I missed. Then ask. I'm finally ready to share. That night, sitting around our table with both families laughing and talking and existing together, I realized something. Forgiveness wasn't about the people who hurt you deserving it. It was about freeing yourself from carrying their mistakes. My family had boycotted my wedding. They'd cut me off for 4 years. They'd tried to control my life through rejection and judgment. But I'd built something beautiful anyway. I'd succeeded on my own terms. I'd married the right man. I'd become the person I was meant to be. And when they'd finally seen that, really seen it, they'd had to confront their own mistake. The Lamborghini hadn't changed anything about my life. But it had changed everything about how my family saw it. And sometimes, being vindicated isn't about revenge. It's about people finally understanding what they lost when they chose to push you away. My mother had texted about a car. But what she'd really been saying was, I finally see you. And I'm sorry it took me this long. That was enough. Not to erase the past, but to build a different future. And sitting there with Marcus's hand in mine, surrounded by family who'd finally learned to accept us, I realized I'd won in every way that mattered. Not because I'd proven them wrong. But because I'd proven myself right.